Will Nintendo ever get back into dedicated handheld consoles? I don't think so, but some people do. If you want to win a gaming gift card or your platform of choice, stick around to the video to find out how. Nintendo Life put an article out today, as they tend to do. They do that. I go around looking at all this fun gaming news. I go, oh, wow, everyone's still talking about the goddamn storage from the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One. I don't care. I get it. You can add storage onto them, okay? There was not much to talk about, but I saw this one article on Nintendo Life that I said, that is interesting, because I do love me some Nintendo handhelds, and it is about Nintendo handhelds, because why would it grab my attention if it wasn't? And they said basically like, oh my God, is Nintendo ever going to go back to making dedicated handhelds? And I thought to myself, absolutely not, no way in hell. But I wanted to see what they said, because they said they talked to the experts. We have a few quotes from quote unquote experts that we're gonna look at here in a minute. And then the title of it says, yes, say the experts. I'm like, well, literally only 2 of them said that they wanted them to. They didn't say yes, which we'll get into. Watch your back, Nintendo Life. I'm watching you, seriously, watch your back. But they talk about, you know, prior to the Switch, there was always a twin handheld home console thing, going all the way back to NES. We had an NES, and then a few years later, we got Game Boy, and then we got Super Nintendo, and we got Game Boy Pocket, and 64, Game Boy Color, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Wii, DS, it goes 3DS to Wii U. The list goes on and on, you know the deal. They're all amazing, they're all magnificent, they're all beloved. I really goddamn love Nintendo's dedicated handhelds so goddamn much. Just, bring those around with me as a kid. Fucking fantastic, loved it so much. Made car rides and camping trips very bearable. In fact, delightful. They even had handhelds before all of that with the Game & Watch series of little LCD, you know, bullshit. I don't know what that is. Is it LCD? I think it is. Before NES even. Back in like maybe the 70s? I don't know how far they date back. But they're old. The Game & Watch systems are old as fuck. They had a ton of those even before the NES. So they've had their hands on handheld gaming. No pun intended, but there should have been for quite some time. But the 3DS was the weakest performing handheld console, dedicated handheld console Nintendo has ever had, but it sold 75.9 million units. Far from a failure. But if you stack it up against all the other ones, Game Boy, all the stuff, they're all breaking like 100 millis and shit, so I don't know. 75.9 million is nothing to scoff at, but it is the weakest of them, and obviously, you know, new tech coming in, iPads, iPhones, all that stuff, revolutionizing the way we play video games on the go. Kids are like, oh, their parents are like, we have an iPad that we use for this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Just give it to Timmy. We're not buying him a Game Boy. You're playing the iPad, Timmy. Sorry. So that happened with a lot of people. And probably accounts for why there weren't as many 3DSs sold, obviously. Shit was booming. DS came in right around the same time that like iPods and stuff were getting popular, like super popular. So the tech progression coincides with like the downfall of the dedicated handhelds, but like I said, 75.9 million is fucking incredible still. But now we have the Switch Lite, which is an offshoot of the Switch. It's not a dedicated handheld, it technically is. It's a dedicated handheld, but the games you play in it are not dedicated handheld games. They can be played on the home console at your house hooked up to your TV. So technically the system is, but the games aren't. Kind of a weird gray area. They're not really a dedicated handheld. Physically it is, but game-wise it's not. So that does not count, even though one analyst that we're gonna talk about thinks it does for some reason. But everyone's like, what's next for Nintendo? What's coming after the Switch? You know what's coming after the Switch? Another fucking hybrid console, because they realize that people fucking love it. The Switch is set to possibly overtake the Wii in terms of sale, which would be the biggest Nintendo console of all time. You think they're gonna follow up and go, let's do something else. Let's do something different. What did they do with the Wii? The Wii did fucking gangbusters, incredible numbers. They said, you know what, call the next one Wii U. Let's just ride that little roller coaster they ride on there, huh? And it didn't work because they kind of botched the hell out of it, big time, marketing wise. Like, don't call it the Wii U, it's fucking stupid. People are like, wait, there's a new attachment for the Wii? Well, I don't want to play Wii anymore, sorry. That's what happened there. But the Switch is doing well. They're gonna learn from their mistakes. They're not gonna call it the Switch U, or I hope to God they're not. Jesus Christ, Nintendo, please don't disappoint me. But they're gonna make another handheld hybrid, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I'm an idiot, I'm not an expert, so we'll look at what the experts have to say. First up, we got Perrin Kaplan, who spent 16 years at Nintendo of America as head of marketing. This comes from Nintendo Life once again. She said the answer is yes, and that she feels the existence of a Switch Lite, a version of the Switch that removes TV play, proves this. I'm like, again, the games are not Dedicated handheld games. The system technically in your fucking hand is. And her exact quote is, there is a market for millions who love a standalone games portable system. I'm one of those millions for sure, so never say never. Just because she liked it. She goes, well, I love Game Boy. Why don't you make more, Nintendo? I love Game Boy too, but I realize it doesn't make any business sense because people will play on their fucking iPhones and their iPads. They want something revolutionary and different. The Switch, you can play it on your TV, you can play it on the go. It's got AAA experiences. It's something that an iPad doesn't deliver, okay? And you're like, Shane, you can get the HDMI connector to hook it up. No, Timmy, stop! Not the same. And then we've got Ubisoft's Sarah Hashimi is in agreement and feels that there will always be a place in the market for portable devices. As a mother to a 7-year-old, I am always reticent, I don't know what that is, to give my, why don't you say reluctant, to give my iPhone to my daughter. I would much rather have her play on a handheld with selected games tailored to her. Again, it's what she wants and what she feels. She's like, well, I like this. Like, this is what I want. I don't really care about the market or the numbers or any of the actual factual data. I just know I would like it. And that's why it's great. Like, no, we can't do that, all right? Sarah. And then Matt Pescatella says, executive director for games and at Data for NPD, agrees that portability is important, but feels flexibility is a more vital selling point for any future Nintendo console. Wow, someone who's actually using fucking logic here. The tech is at a place where separating a portable is no longer necessary to have a market-viable product. Oh, can you believe he's making sense here? Today's video game consumers seem to be preferring flexibility with content engagement, so I'd expect other solutions to be preferable to a dedicated portable platform, but things change. Very reasonable. He's like, this is what people want now. We've migrated away from that. We've evolved beyond that. This is something new. You can play it on your TV, in your hand, blah, 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 seamless, out of the dock, boom, ba, bing, bada, bow. And the other people were like, well, we want one. We just would like that. We just think that'd be neat. I don't know. Sorry. And then we got Joe Bartlett, who basically just says, Nintendo's magical, and you never know what they're gonna do. They could do anything, and they could surprise us. That's what he's basically saying. He's like, well, you never know what Nintendo do, so we can't really peg it down, can we? Disney of video games, I tell you. Shut up, Joe. You shut your mouth, all right? They're not gonna do a dedicated, specific, only where they're gonna develop games just for a handheld. Not gonna happen. They see this hybrid thing. Video games are evolving. This is the way Nintendo is pushing forward. But hey, they are fucking the kings out of left field sometimes, so maybe they'll surprise me and go, Shane, you are a fucking idiot. We're splitting up development again. Remember on the 3DS and the Wii U, we had development teams working over here and then development teams working on the Wii U, and people were like, oh man, it'd be cool if they came together. Oh wait, here's the Switch, it happened. I don't think they're gonna split them up again, all right? I just don't see it happening. As far as what's beyond the Switch, they've been telling game developers to have their games 4K ready, start getting their games 4K ready, so it looks like we're gonna get a Switch Pro or an evolution of the Switch that plays 4K games, maybe a Switch 2 situation, I don't know. Some people are speculating maybe they'll go the route of like an iPhone where we'll get just new iterations of the Switch with better hardware, better tech, and your whole catalog will just come along with you and everything. That sounds kind of cool to me, as long as we're not updating every fucking year like you do with iPhones. Maybe give us like every 3 years, 4 years, whatever the case is. I don't know. Whatever the case is, whatever the future holds for Nintendo, I don't think a dedicated handheld is in the cards as much as I love dedicated handhelds so goddamn much. Maybe we'll get a Game Boy Classic, which people are clamoring for. That would be cool, but I don't see them setting development studios up for developing only handheld games at this point. Sorry, experts that just hope that they make it. You're fucking stupid cheese. But if you want to win a gaming gift card to your platform of choice, all you gotta do is leave a comment on this video. We're doing a random video uploaded in the month of October to the channel, live on twitch.tv/FUGameCrue at the end of the month. So get those comments on all the videos uploaded in the month of October for more chances to win. I'll be picking 2 winners from YouTube and 2 winners from Twitch. If you're active in the Twitch chat, following me on Twitch at the end of the month when I pick the winners, you're automatically entered to win. There you go, bada bing, bada boom. We live stream a lot on Twitch, have a lot of fun. Gonna play some Crash Bandicoot 4 tonight and fail a lot. So check that out, tune in, have fun, whatever the fuck, I don't know, hope you win. But if you want to support the channel, we have a merch store at FUGameCrue.BigCartel.com. We got shirts, stickers, mugs, all that fun stuff, good quality fishing, pricing. We also have Patreon, patreon.com/FUGameCrue for those $1 a month. You really help with the channel a lot. We also have a join button down below, like Patreon, through YouTube. Go check all that stuff out. Links in the description to everything, including my new gameplay channel, which is my Twitch VODs, my other channel where I do weird, wacky, wild stuff, which I'm about to make a new video for that soon, so stay tuned for that. Camera channel is down in the description below as well. We're also on BitChute, go check us out over there, and I'll see you guys later.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.